sages and demigods. Surya means great sages and demigods. Muryanti of Surya means even they are illusioned. But to the extent once surrender to Krishna, they can understand once they understand Krishna is the source, they become free from sinful life. All the qualities also comes from Krishna. Krishna describes these qualities in 10th chapter: intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. We will discuss something more about these qualities also. When Krishna says he is the source of all the great souls, he says the Saptarishis, the Manus, and the four sages from whom the mankind came. They all come from me. So there are 7 Saptarishis, 14 Manus, and 4 Kumaras. This make it 25. Krishna is the source. Krishna, source of sages, demigods, the source of all the qualities, the source of Kumaras, Manus, and Saptarishis, from whom all the mankind comes. In other words, Krishna is the mysterious origin of everything. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unallowed devotional service. One who knows everything comes from me. And this and the later section is what makes this knowledge even better, because further glorifying Krishna, how is source of everything. These are some of the qualities based on purport, how Prabhupada describes. Intelligence, the power to analyze things in their proper perspective. Prabhupada says to be able to distinguish between matter and spirit, not to be bewildered by seeing the matter and seeing the spiritual truth in the matter is intelligence, to discriminate. Then knowledge, knowing the distinction between matter and spirit, similar. Academic university education talks about only matter, therefore incomplete. Real knowledge is to have done to be able to separate uh, matter from spirit. Freedom from doubt and delusion, asamoha, can be achieved when one acts without hesitation based on understanding transcendental philosophy. One will be free from doubt and illusion if one has the knowledge that he has assimilated from words of Shri Guru, from scriptures, and act on that knowledge without hesitation. That's how he can be freed from doubt and delusion. Slowly but surely, he becomes free from bewilderment. Nothing should be accepted blindly, but with care and caution, based on basically if Shastra Chakshu, if we see from the eyes of scriptures, then we become free from doubt and delusion. Then tolerance and forgiveness, Shama, excuse the minor offenses of others. We all make mistakes. So to be able to excuse the minor offenses is called tolerance or forgiveness. One should be practice to bear insult and dishonor from others. Some dishonor comes, some insult comes. One should train oneself to bear that. Prabhupada also says one's greatness can be estimated by one's ability to tolerate provoking situation. Some have less tolerance, small thing, and they may react. Some have more tolerance. So one must practice tolerance, excuse the minor offenses of others, and be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others, because it's going to come anyways. Instead of retaliating, one should practice to bear them. Then truthfulness, facts presented as they are for the benefit of others, not distort truth for some personal interest, even for community interest, not distort the truth. But truthfulness means present the fact as they are for the benefit of others. One thing I was remembering, how one of the Christian priests, he said later on There is only one life, eternally hell or eternally heaven. He added this truth in order to make people more serious in Christianity. One life, this life, because people may think I can take up Christianity next life. He said one life, otherwise eternally hell. And now many people are turning away from Christianity because of this one statement. Oh, their philosophy is like you go to hell eternally. We don't believe in that. God cannot be so cruel. It does not sink in them. Actually, Krishna is sitting in the heart of all living entities. When somebody lies, Krishna will not, like in your heart, you won't be able to accept it. You know, okay, there is something wrong there. So all the changes that they have made to Christian philosophy today take people away from Christianity because of their addition. So Prabhupada says truthfulness means present the fact as it is. Why everything Prabhupada says resonates with us. Even contradictions, Prabhupada says as it is. Sometimes he won't even give the purport, but he will present it as it is. Sometimes he explains, sometimes he just give a translation. Prabhupada says my only qualification, not adding or removing. So truthfulness means present it as it is. Not thinking about, sometimes we become manipulative, how to convince others. This is what Christianity people are doing. We should not do that. We should tell clear. When actually what I have seen many times, we block ourselves when speaking the truth, or we don't know how they will take it, how they will understand. But we should not have that fear. Prabhupada did not have fear. If you see, Prabhupada very boldly present truthfully the words of the scriptures. One time we remember there was some Western preaching some devotees were doing. They were telling in a very nice, goody way. It's very nice. You feel some goodness in you. You feel little happiness in you. And there was one lady. She was very eager to know more and more. But then, as devotees were speaking very goody things, it was like she's listening, but she wanted some deeper, real experience. So one time, our Dev Mother Prabhu from Ypsilanti temple, he met her and he told her, "You are servant of Krishna. You surrender to Krishna, and you should perform bhakti is with deep devotion surrender." It just clicked her like eureka. She's like, "Oh," and she felt so satisfied that I want to surrender to Krishna, and Krishna is God. So these devotees who were doing Western preaching, they were so much hesitant to tell her, "You are servant of Krishna, surrender to Krishna, do devotional service, come to the temple, do service, participate in Kirtan, chant the holy name of Krishna." So they were thinking, how she'll be able to take it. So truthfulness means present it. And the they will be able to appreciate it because Krishna in their heart will tell them, makes sense. Conviction comes from Krishna only. Krishna only himself says. One of the quality he says conviction. That will come from Krishna only. Chaitanya Charitamrita, we also see the conversation between Sarma Bhattacharya and Gopinath, Gopinath Acharya. Gopinath told Sarva Bhattacharya Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. But Sarva Bhattacharya could not accept it. So Gopinath Acharya told Sarva Bhattacharya, that's because you don't have mercy of Lord Chaitanya. That's why you're not able to accept him with conviction that he is God. He's Swayam Radha and Krishna combined form because you don't have his mercy. So ultimately, if you speak the truth, even if to a good extent they will understand it, otherwise they won't go away. But give them present it as it is. If you give them as it is, even they don't accept today, you will see at some point of time in future it will make sense to them. Prabhupada would like speak as it is, and it is said some of the professors, when they heard Prabhupada, they were not convinced. Prabhupada was telling, Krishna is God, and devotional service, glorifying his name. These are all spiritual, they're not material by nature. That's the way to connect with the divine, escape the cycle of birth and death. We are eternally belonging to have a relationship with him, connect back and go back. So he spoke to these professors and they could not understand anything. They kind of found fault in Prabhupada mentally. They were not convinced, but Prabhupada left. Then, after many years, they were interviewed. What instance I don't remember. And they said, well, we met Swamiji. Swamiji said at that point of time we could not understand. But Swamiji was accurately perfect. Swamiji presented the truth as it is. And at a later point of time, sometimes they understand. So truthfulness means facts presented as they are, not for the benefit of others. Don't care about how others feel. Just say it. Prabhupada was bold. Prabhupada was bold even like Darwin. Prabhupada says, I will kick his face with my boots. Prabhupada was bold on those aspects also. He would not promote, yeah, this is also nice, this is also nice, everything is nice. No. Fact presented as they are for the benefit of others, not distort truth for some personal interest. Sometimes we may speak some lie because we have a personal agenda. So then we lack the quality of truthfulness. Then social conviction, social convention to speak palatable, but it is not always good. One must, Prabhupada says, one must call a thief a thief. So, especially absolute truth, yeah, as much as possible, don't lie. As much as possible. This is truthfulness, control of senses. Senses should not be used for unnecessary personal enjoyment, Prabhupada says. Again, mode of goodness, people can control the senses much more than mode of passion and ignorance. They will find it very hard to control their senses. Control of the mind, restrain the mind from unnecessary thoughts. Misuse of the thinking power to spend one's mind pondering over money and other things. Misuse of thinking power, Prabhupada says. Because most of the people are using their mind in unnecessary things, how to become bigger and better in this world, instead of how to become a better devotee, how to serve Krishna. Where, what do I do? So restrain the mind from unnecessary thoughts, because nature of the mind is it will go. Maybe the past, maybe so many ways mind goes. Thinking about others, these are all unnecessary thoughts. So control of the mind is when the mind can be fixed on Krishna, remembering Krishna, praying to Krishna, 9 forms of devotional service. Then there is power of thought should be used to understand the. This is all from purport. Prabhupada has like many pages of purport, and this is a summary of all the 16 qualities. Power of thought should be used to understand the prime necessity of human beings and to present authoritatively. So what should the mind be used for? To understand the prime necessity of human being and to present authoritatively. What is the prime necessity of human being? Prime necessity is, Prabhupada would say, break the cycle of birth and death. Go back to Krishna. This is the prime necessity. The 4 miserable condition, which is old age will come, death will come, disease will come. Break this cycle and join Krishna in one of the 5 relationships. Go back to your original constitutional position. Prime necessity. One should understand the prime necessity and present authoritatively. Power of thought should be developed in association with Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Instead of generally power of thought in this world developed based on how I will be benefited, me and mine. But here it says develop in association of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Then happiness and distress, always considered in relation to what is favorable and unfavorable for Krishna consciousness. That's where our happiness and distress should center around. Is it good for serving Krishna? Our happiness, not good for serving Krishna, our distress. Instead of how I feel, how Krishna feels. What is important for service, what is not. Always consider in relation to what is favorable or unfavorable for Krishna consciousness. See from the point of view of Krishna consciousness, spreading Krishna consciousness. That's happiness and distress. Then bhava, it's not bhav. Bhav is the stage of ecstasy. Bhava sagar. Bhava is cycle of birth and death. Prabhupada says there is no birth and death. Out of illusion, one think there is birth and death because soul is eternal. Misidentification with the body, one thinks of birth and death. Then fear and fearlessness, abhayam, due to worrying about the future, uh, absorption in illusory energy. Prabhupada says fear comes by worrying about what will happen. And Prabhupada says that's because one thinks because of absorption in illusory energy. Fearlessness is possible only in Krishna consciousness. Why? Because then we say Krishna is in control. But Srimad Bhagavatam says absorption in bodily conception brings fear. But Krishna says, right, Yoga Shima Vahami Aham, I will provide what you lack and I will preserve what you have. So Krishna will provide whatever is needed. When faith in Krishna, dependence on Krishna bring fearlessness, depending on one's own strength and abilities, and keeping Krishna aside brings fear. Whenever we become self-dependent, fear will come. When we depend on Krishna, Krishna will take care actually. Krishna will take care of everything. Just a matter of you serve Krishna and Krishna will serve. Krishna says, I will provide what you lack. And if Krishna doesn't provide, probably it's not necessary. Then why should I understand what is the goal of my life? If the goal of my life is Krishna, and Krishna is not providing something that I desire for myself, I desire for my children, I desire for my family, and Krishna is not providing, probably Krishna thinks it is not necessary to attain the goal. What is the goal? Goal is to engage our family, our children in illusory conception of body and get material happiness. The goal is to serve Krishna and break the cycle of birth and death. Again, brings to point of conviction. So absorption, illusory energy, then worry comes about the future. Fear comes, Prabhupada says. Fearlessness is possible only in Krishna consciousness. One is confident of his spiritual identity. Confident means we know who we are. Part and parcel of Krishna. Engages in transcendental services, is serving Krishna. Surety of his bright future that he is going back to Godhead. Everyone is worried about future. Bright future. Bright future of my dependent, of my loved ones. Prabhupada says bright future is going back to Godhead. That is a bright future. So if one is Krishna conscious, then one is sure about his bright future independent of how this world treats us. And for sure, Krishna will take care of his devotees very nicely. Prabhupada says Krishna takes care of the elephant who eat 40 pounds. Don't you think Krishna will take care of his devotees who are trying to serve him? And Krishna will take care of his loved ones. Krishna took care of the washerman of Shivas, the niece of Shivas, the unknown Dr. Shivananda Sen. Krishna takes care of his devotees. Krishna takes care of anybody connected to devotees, even Pitras. Krishna takes care. Generations are liberated. So surety of the bright future of going back to God. Fearlessness is possible in Krishna consciousness. Those who are practicing, initiated, aspiring for initiation, don't fear about anything. Don't worry about anything. If you, use your intelligence, if you just serve Krishna, if you just absorb your life, absorb your time, absorb your mind, chanting, spreading the glories of chanting, serving the temple. If you keep Krishna in the center of your life, Your happiness, keeping Krishna in the center. Your distress, keeping Krishna in the center. Your time, keeping Krishna in the center. Caring of your children, keeping Krishna in the center. Your job, keeping Krishna in the center. If you just keep Krishna in the center of everything, just full on jump into serving Krishna, Krishna will definitely take care of every need of yours. Just this probably after millions of lifetimes you have come to this point of yes, keeping Krishna in the center. It is such a great fortune. If today you all can keep Krishna in the center, you all are able to keep Krishna in the center of your life. Serve Krishna. Manushyanam Sahasresu. After among billions of people, you are moving in right direction. Such a fortune. And don't you think Krishna will take care of you or your loved ones in every situation? Krishna will personally take care of all of you. And this is the platform of fearlessness. Then non-violence, ahimsa, not to do anything which puts others in misery, confusion, distress. That's non-violence. I mean, one aspect is animal killing, one aspect is putting others in misery, distress. Prabhupada also says putting others in confusion, which lies from hiding true things. Then you put others in confusion. Be straightforward. Prabhupada was straightforward. Not many people were accepting him. But then Prabhupada created revolution, right? All over the world. In the beginning, Butler, Pennsylvania, he would tell you this Krishna consciousness, this Supreme Personality of Godhead. People were hesitant. But he did not change in order to become known or famous or have more followers. This is who we are. And Krishna will work. Then Krishna will send you sincere souls. Because if we say goody goody things and don't present the real thing, then Krishna will not send you sincere people because Krishna knows, oh, you will not tell the real thing. Then Krishna will tell you those people who are interested in only goody goody things, but they will not take up Krishna consciousness. You will not be able to give them Krishna consciousness also. So establish yourself as, this is who we are. Krishna will send the good people. Not checking anyone's progressive life. Once anyone's progressive life means the cow has to go to next birth, maybe human, and we kill them. Then if their life is scheduled for 15 years, we kill them after 7 years. They will again take a cow body for 8 more years. So we check their progressive life. No. So that is also non-violence. Then equanimity, samatha, freedom from attachment or aversion, equanimous. Accept the material world, it's related to material things. Of course, there are emotions even in spiritual world. Krishna has fear, Krishna has, Krishna associates have anger, pride, but they're all centered around Krishna. Pure love, all the emotions are there. Ups and downs are there in Krishna's service. But freedom from everything that we're discussing is based on material emotions, freedom from attachment or aversion. Accept the material world without attachment or aversion. Material happiness, not too much material success, not very happy, material failures, not very much distressed. Accept the material world without attachment or aversion. Accept whatever is favorable to Krishna consciousness, reject unfavorable. Satisfaction, not be eager to gather more and more material things by unnecessary activity. Satisfaction means be satisfied with what Krishna has provided already. Don't be so much eager to get more and more things and circumstances, situations, amenities, vehicles, structures. Not be eager to gather more and more by unnecessary activity and finding our satisfaction in acquiring more and more. No. Don't be eager to gather more and more. One should be satisfied with what is obtained by the Lord's grace. Austerity and penance, voluntary accepting hardships or suffering for a higher purpose. Rising early, taking bath, fasting on recommended days like Ekadashi's appearance, disappearance day, Vijayadashmi Chaturdashi coming, 4 days, we fast till dusk on that day. So this is austerity. Sasai Thakur says, unwanted austerity is a blockage to our progress. What is not needed. Fasting on Saturdays and doing this on Tuesdays and doing this. No, just whatever is recommended, do that much. Krishna also says there are austerity also in different modes. But whatever is beneficial for our Krishna consciousness, that is needed. Charity, Prabhupada says give 50% of income to Krishna consciousness, to Brahmanas, to sannyasis, to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. 25% for future saving, 25% for the relatives. Example set by Rupa Goswami, charity. Fame, a man is famous when he is known as a great devotee. You will become really famous if you have no desire for fame, and if you have desire only to please Krishna, and you become a great devotee of Krishna, or absorbed in Krishna, you will become famous. Abhijas Gushukti Bhuvana. You will become famous in all the three words. Even demigods will bow down to you. That much famous you will become. Our fame will be based on our absorption in Krishna. You become more absorbed, Krishna will make you famous like anything. God Kishodas Babaji Maharaj absorbed. Krishna sent him one disciple. He was not interested, but Krishna forced a disciple on him to glorify him. God Kishodas Babaji Maharaj. Because he was just looking for his own absorption in Krishna. And now, I don't know how many thousands of temples have his picture and he is being worshipped. But somebody looking after fame will be frustrated. Krishna will frustrate that desire of looking for fame. But looking for absorption, then fame will come. A man is famous when he is known as a great devotee. So these are some of the characteristics mentioned. Then Chatushloki Gita. The next 4 verse summarizes, this is an important section. Next 4 verse summarizes the entire Bhagavad Gita. That's why, Chatushloki Gita, there's Chatushloki Bhagavatam in second canto, 9th chapter. Chatushloki Gita means the whole Gita can be summarized in these 4 verses. There's 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 verses. Text number 8 summarizes his opulences. The result of truly knowing his opulences, one becomes a pure devotee. We'll see them in little more detail. 9th describes how a pure devotee worships Krishna. What is the attitude of a devotee towards Krishna? 10th and 11th describe how Krishna reciprocates. Who Krishna is, what is the relationship with Krishna, how devotee serves Krishna in the next verse, and how Krishna reciprocates in last 2 verses. These 4 verses are also divided in terms of Sambandha, Abhidheya, Prayojana. Some of you may have heard. If not, Sambandha, it's a simple word, means relationship. Abhidheya means the process, and Prayojana means the goal. So these 4 verses describes what is our relationship with Krishna, what is the process of going to Krishna, and what is the goal of the process. What we are doing to attain, what is the goal, what we want to achieve, who we are, where we want to be, how do we get there. These 3 things are described also in these 4 verses. Sambandha is relationship, Abhidheya is process, goal. Having the relationship and the goal is not sufficient. How do we attain the goal is Abhidheya, the process. So this is the eighth verse. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. So through this line, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava, I am the source of everything. There is a sambandha established. Sambandha means everything belongs to Krishna. Everything material, everything spiritual belongs to Krishna. We also belong to Krishna. This word also belongs to Krishna. Our loved one belongs to Krishna. Our possessions belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. I am the source. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engages in my devotional service. This is the process. So first is Sambandha. Sambandha means we belong to him. Then one who knows this engage in devotional service, Bhakti. They render service to me and worship me with all their hearts. Buddha Bhava Samandita. Bhava Samandita with Bhav, ecstatic love. This is the goal. So Sambandha is relationship. I belong to Krishna. The process is devotional service. One who knows this engage in my devotional service. And Priyojana goal is Bhava Samandita, worship with all their hearts, fully absorbed in me. This verse establishes Krishna as the original source of all spiritual and material worlds. Result of knowing this, one surrenders and engages in devotional service and worship Krishna with all their hearts. Describes Sambandha relationship, Abhideya, which is devotional service, and Priyojana, which is Bhava Samandita, which is ecstatic love or worship with all their hearts. So that's the eighth one. Then the ninth is symptom of pure devotees. The thought now, how this is introductory verse of the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. The second verse speaks about the activities of pure devotees, the symptoms of pure devotees, what we want to do. So it says, the thought of my pure devotees dwell in me. They always think of Krishna. Their lives are fully devoted to my service. Their life are dedicated to serving Krishna in any ashram we may be. But the goal, the life activities are centered around serving Krishna. Serving Krishna. Everything is focused on it. The whole life is dedicated to serving Krishna. Work also, the Prabhu may be working, Mataji may be a housewife. They both of their life are centered around serving Krishna. Nothing else. Not themselves in the center, not their pleasures in the center. Serving Krishna in the center. Great. Those of you who are keeping Krishna in the center and doing everything to serve Krishna, your time, your energy, and not for personal pleasures, serving Krishna, all glories to you. So Krishna says, symptoms, their thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully dedicated to my service. Not that in the morning I serve Krishna, rest of the day I will think about myself, my position, my wealth, my gratification. No. And that may be, we may be trying there, but the life in whatever ashram dedicated to serving Krishna. They derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So then, where they get, Krishna says, Kushyanti cha ramanti cha. Great, they derive great bliss and satisfaction. What is the happiness of devotee? Oh, I could speak about Krishna. Most important joy comes that they derive is by glorifying Krishna to somebody. And they want to do that more and more. They derive great bliss, great satisfaction, bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Krishna says, my pure devotees, they talk about me. My pure devotees, they glorify me. They discuss about me. They become very joyful by discussing about me. I mean, just imagine there are few friends of yours, a few devotees, and they're talking about you and deriving great joy. with full love, glorifying you. And you are listening. How do you feel? So likewise, Krishna says, I see that my pure devotees, they are just discussing with eagerness, glorifying me. And Krishna says, I don't reside in the heart of, in the Vedas, in the heart of the yogis and blah, blah, blah. I reside where my pure devotees come together and they discuss about me with full love. I reside there. I relish that. I come and like, what is happening there? Very good example is Jai Jagannath. Krishna came when Subhadra was guarding and Devaki were describing Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes to the ladies of Dwarka. They all were curious to know about Krishna. How did Krishna see better? How he would go out or go Charan Leela, how he would come back, how he would play, what was his relationship with the gopis, how he would dance, what he would do, how he would speak. So Krishna came there to listen. Likewise, Krishna comes to listen where devotees come together and discuss about me. So this is the symptoms of pure devotees. This Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita is like very, very important from all perspectives. So first, they always think about him. Their life is dedicated to serving him. They discuss about him. They derive great bliss and satisfaction conversing about Krishna. Not like Krishna is glorified. Let me run away from here. Why Krishna is getting glorified? Or Krishna is getting glorified, then I am not interested in Krishna's glorification. Or Krishna is getting glorified, I am not interested in hearing Krishna's glories from X person, Y person, Z person. I will hear only from A and B. No. Krishna is getting glorified. Let me take pleasure in hearing glories of Krishna. One time, New Vrindavan, one devotee said, um, we and others should not be the center. Krishna is the center. Let Krishna be glorified. Okay, then symptoms of pure devotees, thoughts of my pure devotee dwell in me. They're all abhidaya, mostly. They always man mana bhav mad bhakto, always remember Krishna, life fully devoted to my service. Again, the process. They derive great satisfaction and bliss, always conversing about me. There is prayojana and abhidaya. Abhidaya process is because they're conversing about me. Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha. बोधयंती परस्परम, आपस में बात करते हैं, आपस में भगवान ग्लोरीफाई करते हैं. दिस इज अभिधेय. एंड तुष्यंती एंड रमंती, ब्लिस एंड सेटिस्फैक्शन इज गोल. भाव समन्विता इज गोल. So these are the symptoms of pure devotees. Two stages of devotional service: preliminary, they relish the transcendental pleasure from the service itself. Mature, they are always situated in love of God. So one pleasure can come just from the act of serving Krishna. I got a chance to serve. Very grateful, which is also great, but it is preliminary. Their transcendental pleasure comes from the service itself. And in mature stage, it is in loving Krishna. Just the service is the focus, preliminary. But while doing service, they are focusing on how Krishna is pleased. Absorption in Krishna while serving Krishna. Conscious of Krishna's happiness. Consciously doing it out of love for Krishna. Mature. Service focus, pleasure from time engaged in serving Krishna, preliminary. So Prabhupada says these two, both are symptoms of pure devotees. One in a making, one is mature, but both are great. Okay, then Prabhupada also gives the example of Bhakti Lata Beach. Brahmanda Brahmita Kono Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. Rare fortune, one gets the seed. What is the seed? One hears about Krishna Katha or Krishna Kirtan. meets a devotee, reads a book or gets a book. There are so many ways the seed can be installed. One nourishes the seed by hearing and chanting. It becomes a Bhakti Lata. One protects the Bhakti Lata from many weeds of I, me, mine. Let the Bhakti Lata grow. Then Bhakti Lata breaks the universe. Keep growing. Keep nourishing. Keep removing the weeds. Keep pure devotional service in the center. Keep pleasing Krishna in the center. Keep serving devotees in the center. Keep strict sadhana in the center. Keep identifying the unwanted desires that are arising from bhakti through hearing. Shravanam helps in Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotional service. Keep growing, keep growing, keep growing. Then you become liberated. You go beyond the universe. No material desires remains. The stage of anartha nivritti. Then one enters, cross the Brahman, enters Vaikuntha, go to Goloka. One becomes absorbed in Vrindavan Dham. Keep going, one becomes absorbed in Krishna. One, the creeper, centers around the lotus feet of Krishna. Then the creeper is stable, fixed in the lotus feet of Krishna. Now mind cannot wander here and there. Mind is fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna. Then fruits will come. Till now, only the creeper is growing. But creeper is not stable till it reaches Goloka, lotus feet of Krishna, and fix the mind on lotus feet of Krishna. Then comes fruits, and the fruits is love for Krishna arises. One starts loving Krishna. Prema Pumartomaham, loving Krishna. One starts developing feelings for Krishna, loving Krishna. Then full absorption comes. The mind is fixed on Krishna and loving Krishna. Then material existence without Krishna is like fish out of water. Right now, for some of us, it may not be fish out of water because we are happy enjoying this material existence. But when we develop a higher taste of loving Krishna, whenever that comes, then this material word will seem like Mahaprabhu said, Shunyaitam Jagat Sarva. Like everything is empty, there is nothing that gives me any satisfaction in this world. Because one loses all the taste, because one comes out of passion, goodness, and ignorance, one becomes transcendently situated. Then one start loving Krishna in stage of transcendence, one start hankering from Krishna, and Krishna is not there. Then without Krishna, this word seems Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam, because the love remains only for Krishna. Just like I have seen mothers whose son or daughter dies. I have seen that personally. Some mothers, they go through a difficult time of losing their dearly beloved ones. For them, after the departure of their loved ones, this material world seems like Shunyaitam Jagat Sarva. There is nothing. And some actually, after the spouse dies, some dies very quickly because they feel like there is no point of living now. So that feeling, when it comes from Krishna, it is Shuddha Bhakti. Then it's like our existence in this material existence, like fish out of water. But then to get there, there is watering and lot of hearing, lot of reading, avoiding the pitfalls, following the bhakti. And bhakti and weeds look similar, distinguishing them by proper intelligence, which comes by Shravana. By hearing, you will have intelligence. What is bhakti? What is not bhakti? Avoiding what is not bhakti, following what is bhakti. Gradually, Prabhupada says, it's a gradual process. Prabhupada says, just be sincere. Don't lose hopes. Everything is given to us. Just keep trying, absorbed in serving Krishna. Remaining Krishna guaranteed will take care of us. Just a matter of time. Then what do they converse about? Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says. Like they come, they derive great bliss and satisfaction, and they converse about me. And what do they converse about? Bhagavatam. Then Lord reciprocation to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love. I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Again, this is Abhidheya. Then how does the Lord reciprocates? First Chatushloki Bhagavatam verse. Everything belongs to me. Those who know this truth engage in my devotional service and with all their hearts. Bhava samamita, with bhava. And my pure devotees, their thoughts dwell in me. They always remember me. Their lives are fully dedicated to serving me, and they come and glorify me and derive great bliss and satisfaction by conversing about me amongst each other. Then Krishna says, what happens to previous verse, the life of pure devotees, their life is dedicated to serving me. This verse Krishna says how Lord reciprocates to those devotees whose lives are dedicated to serving Krishna. This is only for those who really want to make progress, who really want advancement, who are really sincere in their Krishna consciousness. Krishna says to those, not to everyone, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, tadami buddhi yogam tam ye namam upayantite. To them, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Then Krishna will help us and show us the way how to progress. Krishna will give us intelligence. Krishna will help us to understand what is weeds and what is bhakti. Krishna will inspire us in a direction that will be next step for us. Krishna will give us the intelligence how to deal with different situations, circumstances. Krishna will be like Krishna to Arjuna on a battlefield. In a battlefield, Krishna was there with Arjuna, telling, do this, don't do this. Bow down. This is the weapon released by Ashwatthama. Neglect Bhishma Dev. You cannot fight him. Just run away from here. Let's fight with somebody else. Kill Karna. In a way he's without. Kill him right now. This is the right time to kill him. So just like, it's like without Krishna helping Arjuna, impossible to win the battlefield. Fighting a Bhishma Dev, impossible. Krishna uses all the tricks also, like Shikhandi. So many Krishna uses. So Krishna uses Ashwatthama is dead to kill Dronacharya. Krishna uses everything. Karna kill like this. What about the astra given by Indra to Karna? He ran away and Gadotkacha was killed by that astra. So in a way, Krishna uses, and even the cutting off the sun, the head of, who was the instrument in killing Abhimanyu. Anyway, don't remember the name. How to kill him. What benediction he had. So because Krishna was guiding Arjuna, Arjuna could win. And so many weapons were coming onto Arjuna's chariot. Krishna was holding them off. After Mahabharata, Krishna said, you get down. Arjuna got down. Then he got down. The chariot was burned to fire. So only Krishna made the war win. Likewise, why? Because Arjuna was dedicated serving Krishna. Likewise, Krishna becomes our charioteer. Charioteer means he will ride our chariot to him. All we have to do is use our life in serving Krishna. But with Arjuna, Krishna was there outside of him. For us, Krishna says, Tadami buddhi yogam tam. I will give you the buddhi. Krishna will ride our chariot. The chariot is actually body, gross and subtle, mind, intelligence, ego. External, this is a chariot for us. Krishna will become our chariot driver in a way. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti. You will come to me. Krishna will guaranteedly take us back to him. This is how Krishna reciprocates. Prabhupada explains non-different. Krishna with Arjuna there, Krishna with us same. But are we taking instruction of Krishna that seriously and serving Krishna and willing to give up our own attachments like Arjuna? Are we willing to use our life to serve Krishna? In whichever ashram you are, keeping Krishna in the center, then Krishna will become uh, your your guide, Ch10 Guru, and he will pave the way how to go to him. This is what this verse means, how Lord reciprocates with pure devotees. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. I'll give you the intelligence by which you can come to me. It is also said, if we offend devotees, Krishna will take away the intelligence. And we will think this is bhakti, but it is actually not Krishna's intelligence, it is our own mind. Illusory, the three modes will take charge of our body and they will distract us from bhakti, take us away from bhakti. But if we are serving Krishna, then Krishna will guide us. Scary actually, but it is what it is. If the life is used in serving Krishna, even if your life is used in serving Krishna, even if you make mistakes, offend devotees here and there, if you take shelter of Krishna, Krishna can make the worst situation into best and continue your right. If you're just sincere in your desires and not intentionally trying to harm somebody, but that comes under the category of apiches durachara. Occasional fall down, Krishna doesn't care. Krishna will drag, Prabhupada says, Krishna will drag you to success, to pure devotional service, to his own abode. That's what Krishna wants, and because Krishna loves us. And Krishna knows, these people are like in Bhava Sagar, ocean of faults. I mean, how can we swim in Bhava Sagar, in an ocean? We are completely helpless, Prabhupada says. We are being tossed by the waves of material nature. Krishna knows that. But then Krishna guide, that is our only hope. That's how Krishna reciprocates, Krishna helps. One may have one of a spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization, but still, if he is not intelligent enough, Krishna from within gives him instruction to come to him. Like there are some people, they have a guru, but they cannot understand guru also. They have institution, they have sangha, but they are a little bit, not very educated. No qualification needed, what I'm trying. No external qualification needed. No educational background needed. No social status needed. Sincerity needed. And Krishna will give us the instruction. Prabhupada was giving this Gayatri mantra to this Prabhu, Jainan Prabhu, Rath Yatra, whose picture is there on Rath Yatra card. So Prabhupada says, so Jainand, repeat. And he spoke one word. Jainan Prabhu could not repeat. Prabhupada tried 4 or 5 times to give him the mantra. Jainand, say this word. It's complex actually, Gayatri mantra. So Prabhupada says, that's all right. Krishna will take you without this. Go away. That's it. No need. Krishna will give you. Doesn't matter. Krishna will give us the intelligence from within to come to him. Then only qualification, be sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service. Keep Krishna in the center. Keep service to Krishna in the center. Keep your enjoyment centered around serving Krishna. Your life centered around serving Krishna. Your happiness, distress, serving around centered Krishna. Happiness, distress means Krishna service, get your pleasure. No service, personal enjoyment, get your distress from there. Krishna service not successful, get your distress from there. Krishna service successful, become joyful. Wow. Today this much service is rendered. Just keep your happiness, distress centered around Krishna. Then you'll be happy. Happiness, distress will anyways come, right, in our life. Because of karma, happiness, distress have to come. Good and bad karma in the past. When you use happiness, distress center around Krishna service, same happiness, distress will be ticket for you to go back home, back to Godhead. Just the principle of serve Krishna. Different devotees will enter service in different ways. That's all right. Center around service Krishna. Krishna will drag you. Krishna will guide you. Anything you don't have, you don't need anything. Yoga Shima Vahamyam, Krishna will provide. Just that Brahmana, South Indian, just trying to serve his Guru, and Mahaprabhu says, he got it. In his mind, he has Krishna. He's crying with thinking how Krishna has taken a humble position to help me. How much without Krishna's help we cannot go to him. Krishna says, nobody can understand me. Nobody can come to me by mind. Without Krishna, we cannot go to him. Only Krishna is a way to Krishna. That's why it is said the only way of progress is pleasing Krishna. Krishna is pleased by our life dedicated to serving Krishna. Krishna will take us. It's very foolproof thing. It's clear. We just have to walk. Okay, this is the last verse of Chatushloki Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Reciprocation further. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. What is ignorance? A lot of ignorance is there in the heart. The three modes are there. Lust is there. Envy is there. Anger is there. Pride is. This is all ignorance. Attachments are there. Ignorance. Ignorance of our spiritual truth is there. What is my relationship with Krishna? Lot of ignorance. Om Agyan Timirandhasya. I was born in darkness of ignorance. Ignorance is there. Maya, ignorance. So Krishna says, to show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their heart, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge. Dwelling in their heart. What does these four verses are connected? In whose heart? Those who are constantly engaged in serving me with love, I give them the intelligence by which they can come to me, and I remove their ignorance. Both are connected to those who are engaged me in serving, those who are constantly engaged in serving me. Remove their ignorance, guide them to me, and they walk straight to the path back home, back to Godhead. All we have to do, everything, the advancement is from within. All we have to do is constantly engage. And this is a special mercy. Again, these last two verses describes Krishna's reciprocation. What first is Sambandha, process of devotional service, generic understanding, verse number 8. Number 9, use your life keeping Krishna in the center. Everything keeping Krishna in the center. Come together, discuss about Krishna. Derive your satisfaction coming together, discussing about Krishna. Constantly serve Krishna. And then your ticket to back home, back to God is guaranteed. Anything within, Krishna will remove. Guidance, Krishna will give. Krishna will take your chariot, and the chariot will stop only at the gate of Goloka Vrindavan Dham. Just serve Krishna constantly. Special mercy of the Lord. Lord destroys all the impediments and dispels any ignorance in the heart. Philosophers criticize devotees as knave sentiments. Prabhupada says, devotees say, they are sentimentalists. Prakashananda Saraswati criticized Lord Chaitanya as Bhava Bhavuka. The sannyasi goes on the street and he's a Bhavuka. But Mahaprabhu said, my Guru Maharaj called me a fool, and he said, just chant the name of Krishna. And I'm doing that. Regarding the argument on Vedas, he trashed Prakashananda Saraswati into pieces by his argument. Prakashana Saraswati surrendered. Devotees are bhava bhavuka. They serve Krishna with love, with devotion. Our path is the path of bhakti yoga. So we are bhava bhavukas, but we are not ignorant bhava bhavukas. We know why we are bhava bhavukas. Mahaprabhu is rich. I mean, he's the source of Vedas, rich in knowledge, can defeat anybody. But he's showing the essence. Essence is bhakti, ananya bhakti. Our refutation, even if a devotee is not intelligent enough to take advantage of the literatures of his spiritual master, but if he is sincere in devotional service, he is held by Krishna himself within his heart in all respect. Prabhupada says, even if a devotee cannot read the book of his guru, which basically means even if we cannot understand and read Prabhupada books, but if we are constantly engaged in serving Krishna, Krishna will give us the intelligence and will take us to him. No qualification, no material qualification needed to go to Krishna. I was shocked. I was in Mayapur. Bhakti Charu Maharaj was giving a class in a hall. There were like 200-300 devotees there. There were 5 from Nepal. One of them was Andha. One of them has eyes but cannot hear. One of them cannot speak, Gunga. They were sitting in one corner. They all had one translator. The person who cannot see, as Bhakti Charu Maharaj was giving a lecture, this person was using hand gesture. He's doing all these things to explain him what Maharaj is speaking, and he was understanding everything. And this person, through his hand gesture to the translator, that person who was translating asked question to Maharaj. Maharaj answered. And this person who cannot hear is doing perfect Shravanam by his eyes. That was a lesson for me when I got, wow, Krishna consciousness has no impediments. You don't need any qualification to progress. You need sincerity to progress. No eyes, no tongue. Then he can hear, no tongue. No eyes, hear. Even if you have no eyes, no tongue, no ears, I guarantee you can still go back home, back to God. There are no impediments in the path of bhakti. No material circumstances can check your progress. Just be sincere. That's all. So this is the most important verses. But what about the material necessities of life? When darkness is removed and Lord is pleased, everything is automatically provided by the devotee, by the Lord. Krishna will take care of you. Okay, the last section. No, second last section. Then Arjuna accept. Now it's very fast. The most important were, the biggest were the qualities and Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, most important part. Now, there is only one slide in this section. This is the first time Arjuna speaks. After hearing Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was shocked. Arjuna was enlightened. Arjuna was gladdened, pleased, humbled. This is some of the effects. Grateful when he heard Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita from Krishna. Wow, amazing. This is what Arjuna is doing. You understood? Krishna will drag me to success. Krishna will remove my ignorance from within. I just need to serve him. So this is the first time Arjuna speaks since text 8.2. 2 chapters, he didn't speak. 8.2, beginning of 8th chapter, he asked 8 questions. And then Krishna continuously speaking till the middle of 10th chapter now. Arjuna accept, Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Great sages have confirmed it. It is supported by Vyasa, Narada, Asita, Devala, and you yourself are speaking to me. Indeed, you can be known only by your internal potency. Neither demigods nor demons can know you. Krishna said that in the beginning, second verse itself. Demons and demigods, I am the source and they don't know me. Now he says, you are speaking, I accept everything. They cannot accept you. Full proof. You alone know yourself by your internal potency. You only know yourself, and a devotee by your mercy can come to you, can know you. There is no way out. By reading, you cannot go to Krishna. By chanting, you cannot go to Krishna. By serving, you cannot go to Krishna. Only by Krishna's mercy can you go to him. These are the ways to attract Krishna's mercy. Krishna says, to whom my mercy will come, those who are constantly engaged in serving me. And how do we constantly serve Krishna? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Constantly serving Krishna. Everything is serving Krishna. Prabhupada says, not by mechanical hearing and chanting can one go back, come back to Godhead, but by pleasing Krishna, by attracting Krishna's mercy. Okay, so Arjuna accepts everything. Arjuna requests, therefore, please describe your divine opulences by which you pervade yourself. He said, now tell me more about how you are everywhere, Krishna. How shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? By hearing, one can attain that. Like Prabhupada says, how can I Arjuna asks, how can I constantly think of you? And Prabhupada says in the purport, by hearing about Krishna, one can constantly remember Krishna, hear about Krishna. And then he says, I am never satiated in hearing about you. Prabhupada gives an example of Narada. He heard more, he developed more attraction. More we hear, the more we are attracted to hearing about Krishna. How can I constantly think of you? Nature of Arjuna as a Vaishnava, Prabhupada says, common man has no love for Krishna and has to think materially, asking questions for common man's benefit, Prabhupada says in the purport. Krishna says how he is in the matter, how every energy is belonging to Krishna, even the sun and the moon in various ways. But Prabhupada says pure devotees, they are attached to Krishna in Tribhanga form, playing his flute on the bank of Yamuna and Vrindavan. They are just attached to Krishna's personality directly. But less intelligent people, they don't have that understanding. So Arjuna is asking on their behalf, how can I constantly think of you in this world? And that's what Krishna says. These opulences are also important to remember them. I don't think one can remember all of them. Just read them 3-4 times is sufficient. Then of all gods, I am Indra, Adityas, Vishnu. I'm not going through detail of the tree. I am banyan tree, of water body. I am ocean, immovable. I am Himalayas. You all can just read them 2-3 times. Most of the verses are just they are summarized in these 2 sections. And yeah, these 2 are the last slides for today also. General idea is of all X, I am Y. Of all demigods, I am Indra. Clarification, Krishna is not Indra. Whatever Indra is able to do is because of Krishna's mercy. Like Indra can rule, thunderbolt, powers of Indra comes from Krishna. So when he says, I am Indra, does not mean that we are all gods. Prabhupada clarifies that. Not that everything is Krishna, but everything is manifesting by Krishna's energy. Among lights, I am sun. So not that Krishna is sun, but sun is able to give its splendor because of Krishna's mercy on the sun. Moon is able to do what is able to do because of Krishna's mercy. Living entity, intelligence, strength, or whatever, they're able to do what they're able to do because of Krishna's mercy. So in that way, everything is Krishna's energy. All right. Then there is no end to Krishna's opulence. Therefore, he has given only a sample. Everything opulent, beautiful, powerful springs from a spark of his splendor. Indeed, Krishna supports and pervades the entire universe with a mere fragment of himself. Super soul is the source of all the strength. It is super soul who gives great men their strength. The Lord gives them the power and they can do. Sukadev Goswami could speak about the entire universe because Krishna within his heart is telling them what is the breadth of earth, what is the breadth of the universe, what is the life in higher planets. He is just few years old. He's in his teenager and he's on this planet apparently, but he knows everything. Why super soul is the strength. One who What one should know is all things from Brahma to small ant are existing due to Krishna's entering in them as super soul. Okay, so that's we have come to the end of this chapter. Are there any discussion at this point of time? Are there any discussion? Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Sila Mata then the pronounce.
Yeah. So we have discussed that the truth should be boldly. We have to kept before the people, or yeah, before people. So if there are like questions like what will be the destination, as we are I know, like we have been discussing as we are going through this process, like if we are not able to gain the perfection, we will be going to come into in a devotee family or something. Like we have already discussed all that, but if a non-practiced devotee, or non-practiced person asks like, what is the difference, and if it is like a little bit like sarcastic way, how should we answer those type of scenarios?
Hmm. So you are saying as per the principle of truthfulness.
Mm-hmm.
If a non-devotee asks what is next life like that?
Yeah, what will be the difference that will happen to you as you are practicing? What is the difference that will happen to you than us, like than them? Like,
Yes, definitely. Why not? We should be straightforward. Even if they have no faith, you give the right knowledge. You say, well, there's a path of bhakti. The path of bhakti is about when the heart is purified and one attains relationship, love for the Lord. We all eternally belongs to Him. We have lost that relationship externally, and now we are trying to reawaken that relationship. Or everything we identify here is not our true identity because everything here is temporary. Our loved ones are temporary. Our children are temporary. Like my mother was asking, her mother passed away. So basically, technically, we call her Nani. She passed
mhm.
away. So my mother was asking, will I see her again? I said no. Then she was asking, will I have any relationship with her now? I said, only through Krishna, otherwise no relationship. I asked her, do you know who was your mother in previous life? Do you know who was your son in previous life? And I said, if she has taken another but she doesn't know what's your relationship with her now. You may have that relationship once you go, you and your mother in this life are two separate living entities. Unless Krishna wants, you will never you will never understand because so many lifetimes, so many mothers. False identification. So there is who we are, there's a relationship with Krishna. What we are doing now, we are developing our relationship. If we die, if we're not successful, we continue developing relationship. Through the path of bhakti, we will reawaken where we left off. We continue once we become fully pure. If in this life we go back, if not, in few lifetime we go back. But those who are not practicing bhakti, they are simply based on their desires at the time of death and their karma, cycle of birth and death will continue, higher lower species. But devotees are on the way back home, back to God in now itself. They will escape the Bhava Saga cycle of birth and death, either in this life and go to the spiritual abode, Vaikuntha or Goloka, or in very next future life, they are preparing to escape. Others, Nitya Baddha, eternally bound in the cycle of birth and death. Complete difference. Because I mean, you explain to the people based on your conviction, and then while explaining, you pray to Krishna, Krishna, please give them intelligence to understand, and leave the rest to Krishna.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. I mean, there is no light in the room. I mean, there is light, but I just continued. Uh,
Yeah, even they ask in some kind of like a challenging mode or sarcastic mode. Like the eagerness may not be there in the person that they might be asking. So still, can we explain um, all these?
so, can you ask the question again? If they are asking
So
about eager,
if the person like if there is no eagerness, but they might be asking uh, just like that without any intention. Sometimes in a sarcastic way, like you are doing all this, but what is the use or something. Their intention may not be, in eagerness to know, why we are really doing. Still, we can explain the same
thank you,
answer.
Mataji. What we can do is start explaining a little, see their response. They may not show that they are eager, but they actually are seekers. Everybody is a seeker, but they are hesitant to accept because they don't want to accept somebody's superior position than me. So they don't want to hear from somebody because they want to think themselves as superior. So we take a humble position and we say, we just glorify them, we make them comfortable, and we install the truth. Saswai Thakur says to preach, take a blade of grass in your mouth. Means take a humble position always. With humility, you speak. If they go in a mode of argumentation, no, 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 this is all bookish, this is all mythology, this is all rubbish. Don't try to convince them. Then withdraw.
Oh, got it.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Then one question I have on chat, preliminary is service and mature is love of God. Can you expand more? Yes, Prabhuji, in our beginning stages, like we may be in, we focus on engaging our time in serving Krishna. And our happiness comes from the act of serving Krishna. Today, whole day I was engaged. I read and then I chanted my rounds. And then I went and bought some groceries for the temple. Then I did this. And so this was my duty, take care of my children, my spouse. I did that. So I kind of engage in Krishna service. Good day. Another day. Good day. So when our happiness comes from just from the act of being engaged, good. Then mature is more like I'm doing the service, same service I'm doing, but I'm conscious that I'm doing this because pleasing to Krishna. And while I'm doing, I'm remembering Krishna. One thing is, I'm engaging myself, may not be the mind, may not be engaged. Physically, we are engaged. Preliminary. Then the mind is absorbed in Krishna Prabhu. Is that all right? One is external act, one is external and internal. Both are united in serving Krishna with love. So I hope that answers. Okay, thank you. Grateful for the question. Is there anything or are we good to end here?
Prabhuji, I have a question.
Yes, Yashodhani.
Prabhuji, I was reading in one of the chapters 15 or 16 about devotees and demons. There are people that has a demonic actions, and and it says that we should leave them alone. And And it so happens that you have some experience in your life, that you have had some experience. So do we leave them alone? And then if you hear that that same person is not doing well and need help, what do we do?
Well, we can help them to the extent they are willing to accept our help. We serve them by giving them prasad. We serve them according to how much they are open. We don't want to glorify Krishna beyond the adhikar of the listener. We don't want to tell them the knowledge beyond their adhikar. We tell the truth, but we tell in a way, Prabhupada says expert preacher means present it in a simple manner that the other person is can digest. So being truthful does not mean that we give them PhD level of understanding to a person who is just in beginning of spiritual life, because that will disturb their mind. Speak according to their adhikar, according to their qualification, in a simple manner. Let them digest that much, then give more, and then give more. But be truthful. If they are completely against Krishna consciousness, give them prasad, smile at them, let them appreciate us, and that's how they make progress, just by appreciating us. And we can help them selflessly with the motive, by my helping them, they will become more favorable to serving Krishna. And their gratitude to us will make them devotees, because they are grateful to devotees. Anything a devotee does is beneficial for the society. Is it all right?
Yes, Prabhuji, I understand. Thank you. Because I always felt guilty that maybe I'm not doing the right thing, you know? I mean, how am I going to approach? And I got the answer from you. So thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you. So, okay, if all the devotees give permission, then we'll end here. Thank you all for joining. My obeisances to all of you. If I spoke anything wrong, please forgive me as a humble servant. If I hurted any one of you, I'm sorry. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you
Hare
so much.
Krishna,
Oh,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
very much,
Pranam,
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you very
Pranam.
much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat
Thank you very
Pranam.
much. Hare Krishna.